Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you're having a fabulous day here today. If you don't already know, Bond is getting buffed. Yes, they listened. The beautiful, great devs at that Marble said, you know what? Alright, our character over here is not the best, and we should relook at him, and we should do that, right? Today, we also now have the global version of it, which gives us such a better idea instead of the other translations we had, which were like rice field. If you read the translations, they were bad, all right? It's like after every sentence that was like a core aspect of it, it just said rice field. So I don't know what happened. I genuinely I do not know what they were trying to say instead of rice field and how Google Translate got rice field out of it. I don't get what they were trying to say there. But yeah, it was like the biggest meme in my comment section. I don't understand what it was. But today, let's jump into it. Let's talk about the global version of it, which is the exact version the too long didn't read, and what actually is changing with Bond himself. Let's jump into it. Like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's check it out. So this is the global version of everything. We have it over here. Also, I do want to mention that you clearly saw there that I stopped this banner at 600, right? If this was a normal festival, if it was, I would go to the 900. I would. It's like the first festival unit. I decided, yeah, let's stop at the 600. We're good to go. We got Bond. We're done. We're done. All right, run away, because he really is not the best. He isn't, okay? Which is why he needs these buffs, okay? Let's jump into it, though, all right? Here, first, and most importantly, in order to make it easier for lower ranks to utilize Bond in battle, we plan on buffing Bond by adjusting the ultimate skill-related scaling for lower level ultimates, okay? Very straightforward, very easy to understand. Bond at 6'6" is kind of busted. Bond below 6'6" is kind of crap, okay? Very simple thing to understand there. So them fixing that, making it more worth it to go for dupes is huge, okay? They probably, and this is what I want to say here, is they waited to see what Global said. That's why they decided not to drop anything, right? Any sort of buff information or anything. JP knew it sucked. JP tried, okay? They could not make Bond work. JP players were mad at it. Boom. They waited for Global. They may have seen the global results, and the banner was not pulled for. A lot of people skipped because they're looking for a hyped festival that's broken. Bond fell very short, okay? Even if you're not looking for a broken festival, you're looking for a damn great festival. Mael is still a damn great festival unit for PvE and PvP content. People summoned, okay? Here, yeah, Bond really wasn't chased, and people that wail usually didn't even want to chase dupes for him because it wasn't worth it unless you just fully 6'6". So really, he fell short. All right, next up though, we have this, all right? In addition, Bond's core kit of applying debuffs on enemies will be improved so that the mark of concentration debuff will not be immediately removed for a certain number of turns. And then right after, it does say this will allow Bond's skills to be more widely utilized. When we read it on JP, okay, the way it was translated was that it was going to expand his skills as if it was making it an AoE skill. It looks like they will not be making it an AoE skill. We were just coping. That's what it was, right? Because clearly it says here this will allow Bond's skills to be more widely utilized due to these changes, basically. Okay, so theoretically, not much is really happening other than it just says Bond's core kit of applying debuffs on the enemy, okay, will be improved where, okay, so that this debuff will not be immediately removed for a certain number of turns, okay? It currently lasts for 2 turns already, so what's their plan? Are they going to make it like, oh, when he does actually cause crit damage, that will not cause anything to change, it will still remain? Okay, is that what they're going for? So if he doesn't actually one-shot, he can go again? Is that it, right? So Bond was designed to be like the first kill character. They literally mentioned that. Like, he was designed to be a strong damage dealer where he just takes out one unit right off the get-go. That was his purpose, okay? But he clearly couldn't do that, all right? A lot of the time, he fell short. So what is the plan? What are they going for with it? I am curious. I was saying, like, the way to do it is make the card a debuff. Is that not like the best way to do it? Yes, it's going to be extremely toxic, but they released Melee. They released so many units that are already toxic. Bond just, again, he kind of fell short, okay? He did. So what's the change to this, per se? The card already lasts 2 turns, right? It disappears once you crit. So if you do crit, it remains now? Is that the change? The twist with it? We'll have to wait and see, but I said AoE. I was like, that's a great idea. This allows Bond's skills to be more widely utilized. Pretty simple. Furthermore, Bond's survivability will be buffed to provide additional opportunities in unfavorable battles. Lastly, we will improve Bond's freedom regarding team comps and synergies with other teams. So, basically, last one here, we'll talk about this first. This is simple. They're going to probably open him up where he's not Sins restricted. He will be maybe Sins and human restricted, or just entirely opened up where he works with anybody. Mainly, I see it being like a Sins and human restriction, being that the new thing, as he could really work with Rudeus or Roxy or other characters in the future that are humans. So, in the future, if we get a human character that's broken, like Lancelot or whatever, who knows what happens, right? He can actually get a buff from that, which is really cool, okay? So that is a pretty solid change already. Here, though, survivability is a main issue also. Him getting that buff there to survive more is probably also better. So if you have to proc the first debuff and get the other card out, you have a chance to. You don't just get absolutely fingered by Escanor right off the get-go, right? So overall, I'd say it's a pretty decent change. I hope that when he does get changed, though, it is worth the change, right? He actually is better and much more usable than he is right now. I'm not saying break the game, destroy the game as Purgatory Bond did. I'm saying be usable, be actually usable and feasible in some sort of comps, because damn, you released a character that during the 4th anniversary, the most hype time, he can't do anything. It's crazy to think about, but that happened, okay? So yeah, but yes, let me know what you think about this, what your opinions are on this entire situation. Do you think that what they said so far is enough, or is it too little? But yes, on global, 6.12 is when we'll get our buff, but we'll know about it basically around 6.7, 6.8. 6.8, it will release in-game. 6.7 will be the patch notes, which will give us the idea of what's happening. If Bond really is going to get better, or what the changes. Still, overall, I'm curious, right? They did say multiple times that, you know, our players have expectations of festival characters, and this festival character wasn't really a festival character. He released as one, okay? He's being charged as one, right? 900 gems, that's a lot. That's a festival character, but he didn't really feel like one to players, okay? So that's what their adjustments are for. Let's see what happens, though. I am very curious. For everyone asking for compensation, we don't get it when it's a buff, okay? You get it when it's a nerf. That's how it works usually. When it's a huge change in their kit, maybe you get it, but it's mainly when it's a nerf, okay? When it's a buff, you don't get anything. So everyone's like, oh, 100 gem compensation, let's go. No, I don't think so. But maybe because he sucks so much, they just give you the 100 gems just because they want you to summon. They're like, all right, just go for it, all right? But we don't know. So at the end of the day, the buff is good. Let's see how it actually turns out. Let's not get hyped too much just yet, because I am curious. They could mess it up. They released Bond. They could also release a bad Bond again. So let's see what happens. But that's the dev notes, a better idea of what actually is changing. Pretty simple, but yeah, not bad.